Hello everybody and welcome back to Path of Exile 2 and our casual mapping series. Today we're going to be going through this Mineshaft map here to get to this second attempt, or I guess fourth attempt, whatever, a repeat of a citadel that we've already done. I have no idea whether we're actually going to get a fragment out of this because we already completed one of these and failed the other two, so I don't know. But I guess once we unlocked this tower, it gave us a visual on this guy here and that guy there. So if we don't get it out of this one, we have two more chances over here to do that. So today we're running around with our Bone Shatter Titan. We're going to try to do this map here. And then if it doesn't take us too long to do this one, we may attempt the Citadel. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't know how this is gonna go. So we're gonna try to hop in here and see how quickly we can move through this and hopefully not die. We'll see.
Weak.
Come on. I got a little bit nervous because we got one shot by the boss in the Act 3 Citadel, or the Act 3, whatever you call it. The Citadel that has the Act 3 boss in it. For whatever reason, we got hit by one explosion and just died. So I'm more and more feeling very fragile with this character. Which I'm sure exposes the entire reason why people say melee sucks in this game, why armor sucks in this game, because, you know, it does relatively well against large packs of mobs like this. But then you get hit by a big swing, and then you're just done. Which, that really sucks. Well, they already gave me the location for all the things. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Oh, we passed by one up here. Look at that. Didn't even see him. So let's head back up here and go grab that then.
Meat creature.
Out of there. Okay. Gee, that's I see my health was still going down. Did a lot of damage over time. Okay. I would really like to not die. Dying sucks. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Stand still.
I did my Hammer of the Gods and
Deep breath. Burn, burn, burn. Deep breath.
ow.
Slow down. Flash.
I hate this boss because she has that stupid thing where she runs around and attacks. It can one-shot you with each hit that she does. Like that. I hate this boss. They really need to adjust that mechanic. They really need to adjust that mechanic. I'm sorry. That's just an unreasonable mechanic. It is. It's just unreasonable. There's no arguing that. It's too wild and flaily and hard to anticipate. Well, I gotta save that for that, so I guess for this one we'll just do that. That's really annoying. Really, really annoying. I'm sorry. That's just there's no justification for that. There's no justification for a boss being able to just do that to you. For anything that's gonna kill you in one hit, there needs to be a wind-up for it. There needs to be the ability to see it coming and prepare for it. It should never, ever be all of a sudden out of nowhere, or, you know, it attacks so many times at that same strength that you have to be freaking completely perfect in your dodging or you're gonna die. Like, that's just not a reasonable expectation. Like, I should have just exited the map as soon as I saw that, because the chances of you dying to that boss are just unreasonable. Like, even during the campaign. Even during the campaign a lot of times. Because her hits are just so freaking strong. No. Stop playing this character now. I don't know. Like, it proves the point that you just can't. That melee in this game is just, unless you can do some kind of freezing like with the monk, but just in general, melee in this game is just. I don't understand. They sort of figured it out in the first game. Then they come here in this game, like they finally got it sort of figured out in the first game, and then they come into this game and they just make the same mistakes that they made in the first game. Right? They don't learn the lessons that they freaking. Like the big, you want to know what the biggest thing I've been looking forward to is I want to see the freaking shadow. Like I like the nimble dagger wielding rogue archetype. That's what I like. That's what I want. That's what I'm wanting to see in this game. But the way that melee works, I mean, I guess I don't know. It might be okay because evasion seems to be reasonable. You know, our monk doesn't really get hit very much, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine, but. Unless you go with some kind of a thing that gives you some serious crowd control, melee in this game is just. I don't know. I don't understand the developer's philosophy for their approach to gameplay. Like, there's a difference between making things challenging and then just being ridiculous with it. Unfair is not. It's not challenging. It's just it's not fun. Like, unfair is not fun. Making it so that ranged characters get to do whatever the hell they want basically, and then if you play a melee character, just get effed. Like, no, man, come on. It just goes back to the idea that, you know, the illusion of choice that most of these kinds of games have. Like, they sell themselves on the idea, oh, you can build your own thing, but then it turns out, no, you can't. You have to go through, you know, one of a very set list of builds that are viable to work. And if you don't do those things, you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting done. You're not doing anything. Like, me as a player who just wants to play the game, I can't just hop into the game and start just randomly putting together a build that I think would work, because no, they've tweaked the game to be so challenging that you have to have certain things, and only certain things will work, and you don't get any kind of choice. Like, yeah, if you're a build crafter, you can build to whatever meta they've decided that they're going to do, but there's still only a very limited number of things that you can do and actually make it work. So it's like, I'd rather just be given classes that, you know, have a few different options that I, as a player, don't have to go to a build, somebody who knows how to do build guides. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like the Diablo franchise. I get it. But at the same time, at least Diablo treats you, you know, with some honesty. Hey, these are the builds you get, and that's it. We're not going to pretend like you get all these options here. This is what you get. These are we've crafted these classes because this is how we've designed the game. They conform to the design of the game that we've made, and, you know, this is what you get. Rather than, hey, we're going to make this system so you can build your own builds, but then we're going to design the game so that you have to do certain things or else you're going to die. Like, well, that's still not choice, is it? That's still forcing me to, you know, now you're just relying on the players to develop your classes for you. What kind of crap is that? Don't we pay you to do that? We pay you to do all the development, right? Isn't that the way it's supposed to work? I don't know. Is this a good, like, don't get me wrong, this is a great game, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to get to the design philosophy that one of the major things that people point to in this game is freedom of choice, and it's like, there is no choice in this game. You're gonna do what they've designed. From my ancestors. You're gonna do what they designed for you to do. Because if you don't, you're gonna die. There's not enough leeway built into the system for you to be able to do what you want to do. To play the game the way you want to play it. Unless the way that you want to play it happens to line up with, you know, the way that they decided that it needs to. You know what I mean? Like, they provided a list of activities for you to participate in, and then you either like that or you don't. And it's like and you know, that's fine. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be that way. I'm just saying, don't tell me that I have options when I don't. I don't have options. The fact that I can't just hop into the game and, you know, look at this tree here and be like, these options seem interesting. Let me put these together and play the game that way. No.
Hello.
You have to have an understanding of the way the way everything works together. You can't just put together whatever kind of build you want. It doesn't work that way. All right, well, we finished that one, and now we can do this one. I don't know that I necessarily want to do it with this character, so I'm gonna pull out I'm gonna see if maybe we can get. I want to do ranged at this point because I'm tired of getting my butt handed to me like that. So let's pull out the mercenary, and then we're gonna take our. Oh man. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's see. Can I get? I just want a basic. Okay, I just want a basic tier 15, so that way we have the best chance of finishing this. All right. So, you know, I get what they're trying to do, but they've never done it very well. Like, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want a game that allows you to do whatever you want, but then they also want the game to be challenging and difficult, and like, you can't have both. If you want the game to be difficult, then you have to lock people into a certain list of things that they can do, and that's reasonable. But don't tell me that don't design your system in a way that gives me an illusion that I have options, right? Like, then just give us the builds that you designed the game around, and then that's it. I'm sure that all the hardcore build nerds who want to sit down and optimize all of that stuff love that process. But for just somebody who just wants to play, I don't want to have to sit down and figure all that crap out, and then you have to wait for a build guide, and then what ends up happening is that you just get build guides, and that's all you end up doing. And you can't really tweak them that much because, you have to optimize it for this or optimize it for that. And like, there's no choice in that. You're still just being given a list of classes. And at the end of the day, really, if you want to be efficient with your play and time and all that stuff, let's say what? Diablo had, Diablo 3 had like 5 or 6 different classes, and then each class had a list of abilities that you could pick from. In total, you probably have the same number of builds available to you in Diablo 3 as you do in this game. Depending on the various things that are happening. I'm trying to. I think we're okay. That's what's going on here. I gotta focus right now because this guy needs to go away. He's continuously spawning minions, and we can't have that happening.
Bloody beautiful.
So I don't know. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. It's super frustrating because I don't really want to follow a build guide. I'd kind of like to be able to just pick a character, get an idea of how I'd like that build to play, and then just be able to pick things along the way that allows me to play that. And it seems like the more complexity you add to a system, the more options you get. But the reality is that ultimately everything just kind of distills back down into what the optimal options are, and that's what you're going to end up having to do. Because especially if they don't provide any leeway in the game for, not having optimal damage and not having optimal defense and not having optimal this or that or whatever, then you have to distill it down into what the game developers have decided it needs to be. And at that point, you might as well just be providing classes that you've already optimized as a developer to work with the game. then it only ever comes down to, do you have the skill to beat the bosses as we've designed them? It never becomes, oh well, you didn't know about this obscure thing that makes your build suck. Like, well, then why didn't you just design the characters then? Just design the builds and give them to us so that we can play them. Now, I'm sure that, you know, I know the argument against that is going to be, well, you know, all these people have designed all these builds, and you have all, yeah, but again, how many of those builds do you see that just suck? And how many of them actually work? That's my point. Right? There's a limited number, like, I think, what, every time we have a league or whatever, there's like 2 or 3 builds per class that end up becoming like mainstream builds that everybody wants to do. And then all the rest of them, yeah, there's plenty of other builds out there, but nobody plays them, or very few people play them because they're too slow, they're too weak, they're too, you know, compared to the ones that the really good, you know, build guys come out with. It's just not worth your time. So I don't know. I know I got into a rant. I'm sorry, but it's just that's how I feel about it. Like, I have been a video game player for a very long time, and I believe in the idea that the people making the video games should be held to a standard of a certain kind of standard, and it's slipped away from that. Me growing up, you know, game designers designed games, and they designed the entire game, and they didn't leave it on other people to figure it out for them. Just saying. I think the idea of it is awesome. You know, like the idea of being able to just make your own build. That sounds cool. But I've seen too many times where that idea just falls away because it's just not feasible. Alright, I have no idea whether we're going to be able to kill this guy or not.
This ends here.
Make a wish!
Submit! You are finished!
Crap.
The era of the Farragut is now! For my people!
Trying to stay close to him, because supposedly that little... It's harder for him to hit you with that little attack that he does, the spiky attack.
We will have what is ours!
What the... Oh my god. And yet another one that's just... We were doing really well too, and then all of a sudden I got hit by something and I don't even know what it was. Okay, well, another complainer video. Sorry, but I just, you know, I feel strongly about certain things, and...
Hello.
I don't like one-shot mechanics. I don't like... Because here's my philosophy on it, all right? Here's my philosophy on it. When you're playing a game like this, why are you playing the game? Why are you really playing the game? Are you playing it because you want to have a challenge to overcome? Most of us, no. Most of us aren't playing it for that. Most of us are playing it because we want to fantasize about being this powerful being, a powerful person that's able to do powerful things. We want to feel like a badass. Getting one shot by a boss doesn't make you feel like a badass. You know? It just doesn't. There is no feeling like a badass when you have this build that's supposedly pretty powerful, and then you go into a boss fight and his mechanic is able to one-shot you. There's no badass feeling with that. And yeah, you can make the argument of, well, if you know the boss fight, then you'd be able to avoid the one-shot. And it's like, well, yeah, but when you have a million bosses in a game and trying to remember all of those mechanics when you haven't touched that boss in a very long time, only the obsessive people are going to remember all of that. Everyone else is just going to be like, wait, how does this boss go again? Because I remember probably 3/4 of that fight, but I don't even know what killed me. I know that he has a little spear thing that he throws at you, which is why you're supposed to stay close to him. He has those little things that pop up that have lightning in between it that move around. You need to stay out of that, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. Maybe I was not paying attention and I just missed it, but it felt like there was some kind of an explosion that happened, and all of a sudden I was dead. Like, where did that explosion come from? I don't remember that. I don't remember that being part of the fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's talking about how great all these bosses are, and it's like, yeah, but then you have to remember all these boss mechanics, and unless you're just constantly playing and memorizing them, you're not going to remember all that. Which is why, you know, why I am taking a very casual approach to this. I don't really care if we finish the Copper Citadel. I don't really care if we fight the Arbiter of Ash, because just like in World of Warcraft, the amount of time and effort you have to sink into just getting access to them only to die, not getting what you were trying to get, it's not worth my time. So at this point, we're mostly just in, you know, we'll keep going for it, and if it happens, it happens, but I don't really care if we do. I'm just waiting for the next set of characters to drop, so I can play through the campaign again, and from it with a different class. I'm also just waiting for the second half of the campaign to drop, so that we can go through and see what the second half of the campaign looks like. I like the idea of this overland map here, but the way that bosses and stuff work is just kind of frustrating. Like, we got unlucky with the boss here, and then we got unlucky with the boss here. And I don't like it when luck is a primary factor in whether you're able to progress or not. I don't like that. Luck should just be something that... Luck should only ever apply to, like, what kind of gear you get. My ability to fight bosses should never be based on luck. Whether I get unlucky with a strike that hits me, or I get unlucky with the thing that does this, or... I don't like that approach to gaming, and it really bugs me that that's the way that this works. So... you know, whatever. It is, which is why I take a casual approach to it, because if I tried to be like super like hardcore about it, I would be angry. Like, I know I seem like I'm angry now. I'm more just like, whatever, man. I would be really mad. I used to be a keyboard smasher. Like, that's how mad I would get about games like this, and I can't approach games that way anymore, and that's why I just kind of like, okay, whatever. This is how you're going to design your game, then I'm going to have to approach it from a well, I don't give a shit standpoint. Like, I'll take it as far as it's fun for me to play, and then I'm done. Now, as a content creator, I'm going to say what I think about it, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to create content, and I'm going to say what I think, and I'm going to let you guys know. Some people are going to agree, a lot of people are not, and that's fine. I don't care. Overall, I like this game. I've said that several times, but I think some of the bosses especially just really need tweaking. You know, that Ruja boss, like, her hits, if she's gonna have a one-shot thing like that, it needs to be one hit. It doesn't need to be swing, 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 and you just have to perfectly dodge that, or you're dead. That's bullshit. 100%. And, you know, there is no argument that you can make to me that's going to convince me of that. You may think it's fine, I do not. But just bosses in general should never have any kind of thing that has the potential to one-shot you, right? If you die to a boss, it should be because you just weren't paying attention, and that's it. That's the only reason you should ever die to a boss, is because you weren't paying attention, not because some mechanic came in and you just this or that. You weren't paying attention and you deserved to die. It should never just be bad luck. I hate that. I hate that philosophy. It can happen in real life. It should never happen in a video game. I disagree with that philosophy. So, whatever. At this point, I guess I'm unintentionally just padding out my video time, so I'm going to say goodbye now. I'll see you guys later. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, so you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. Also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you prefer to support the channel that way. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for our next episode as we head towards another Citadel, and I'll see you then.